very clear to see that this is a sale that has produced countless good horses, and we've come to have a look at what's on offer this year. And where better place to start than Harris de Montague, the consignment that 2 years ago sold the Epsom Derby winner, Wings of Eagles.
Our highlight is, of course, number 101, who I call their sister. She is the half-sister to Wings of Eagles by Kingman. Wings of Eagles, as you know, won the Epsom Derby, which is a big highlight for us.
And tell us about her in particular, because that's kind of going to be the headline horse for a lot of people here. Just what is she like? Is she like her brother? Tell us more about the family.
They're very different. She's a big grey filly. She's a tall filly, very good temperament, and she's by Kingman. We chose Kingman because the dam, the mare, is a very big, high mare, and we wanted to bring some elegance to her. So she's a nice filly. She's very athletic. She's a very good walker. And she was the highlights of the day, of the week actually. She had many visitors. She's got vetted a lot, so we are quite pleased with her, and we're looking forward to it.
And at this stage, when you sold Wings of Eagles back at this sale 2 years ago, what was he like? What was did you know he was special then? I mean, I know he was a sort of outside chance in the Derby, but he's obviously gone on to prove that he wasn't just the fluke.
His pedigree page is amazing because Rotina, his granddam, produced 6 group winners. So we knew he was a good horse. He was a tremendous, good-looking horse. Maybe the nicest yearling we've ever sold. Actually, we were a bit disappointed with the price he made. He made 220, sold to Crudmore. But the story is amazing because afterwards he won the Epsom Derby, so there's no point regretting anything about this sale.
We've got 34 yearlings going to this sale in August. We'll have about 20 in October. And basically these are all homebred. So our policy has always been to sell only homebred yearlings who belong to us or to clients or to partnerships from us with clients. And this year we've got 4 Galileos, 2 Bowie, but also some Kingman and some Charm Spirit. We've got a Warfront, so we try to go to, as much as possible, successful proven stallions and also some young stallions that we like Kingman or Charm Spirit.
And of those horses, the sort of progeny that you've mentioned, who is your kind of like stand? I know it's very hard to pick a favourite, but is there a couple that are your real standouts for this weekend?
It's difficult to say. Well, obviously we've got the half-brother to Ecto and most improved by Galileo, who is quite an outstanding individual, and he's a really special horse. So he may be the peak of our draft, but we've got also, I think, a very strong and consistent group of fillies and colts behind that.
And of the sort of highlights here that you have, obviously there's the Almanzor brother. Just tell us about him.
Yeah, no, of course he's a bit special for us. Being the full brother to Almanzor, by our own stallion Wilton Bassett. So and he's to us, we think he's a really good colt. He's been pretty popular so far, so we're hoping for a good sale. It was just, we bought into that family to support Wilton Bassett in his first few years at stud. So we've been lucky to, that the outcome was Almanzor, the first fall out of that mare. So that was really good, and this colt hopefully will go to a good home and could do as well as the brother.
Well, lot number 4 is a No Nay Never, which is the first crop of the sire, and he won the Morny here, which is going to be run tomorrow. And the dam is a half sister to Havana Gold, who had a great start as a stallion, as you would probably know. And so that's quite exciting, and he's a beautiful horse, and he's been quite busy all week, so we hope for the best.
The action in the ring over the two-day sale saw some serious fireworks, including the bidding war for lot 160, a son of Dubawi, out of Group 1 winning mare Giofra, who topped the sale. Consigned by Harris de la Perelle, the colt had been the talk of the sale since arriving at ARQANA earlier in the week, and finally went the way of Kerry Radcliffe for €1,550,000 after she managed to outbid Shadwell Stud's Angus Gold. The colt is set to stay in France and be trained by André Fabre, one for you to look out for in the coming years, hopefully. Henri Bozo's Monceau consignment had another fantastic weekend when selling 3 Galileos to the Mayfair speculators, in partnership with Peter and Ross Doyle and MV Magnet. Their Galileo haul included Lot 88, the colt out of the dam of Ecto and Most Improved, Lot 51, a half-sister to Irish Oaks heroine Chiquita, and Lot 65, amassing a spend in total of over €2.5 million. So what is the plan with these beautifully bred yearlings?
Obviously the 3 Galileos, the 2 fillies and the colt last night, and all 3 very, very nice horses, and we're very fortunate that we're in a position to buy such nice horses, and 2 of them will remain in France, and the colt will go back to Ireland to be trained by Aidan O'Brien.
Sabine Gibson was clearly looking forward to selling her Kingman half-sister to Wings of Eagles, and she didn't disappoint, making €750,000 in the ring and being signed for by David Redvers in partnership with Meridian International. A decision where she will be trained is yet to be made. Of the other yearlings we preview, Etraham's Lot 143, the full brother to Champion Stakes winner and recently retired Almanzor, was led out of the ring unsold at €500,000. Le Motoret's Lot 4, the colt by popular new stallion No Nay Never, whose stud fee is €17,500, returned a brilliant result when selling to Kerry Radcliffe for €480,000. And they were also the consignors of one of a very good pinhooking results from the sale. They had an Olympic Glory colt who made a sizable return on a relatively small outlay.
Well, it's been bought by some partners that we're working with since a few years. It's been bought last year in December Tats for 5,000 guineas. And so we sold him yesterday for €75,000. And so the guys were delighted. And they've done a great job in choosing him last year. And so they kept him for 6 months, and he arrived to us 2 months ago. And they're good people that know what they're doing. And he was quite busy yesterday. And so he made a good price, so we're all happy.
The higher price pinhooks were also making strong money. Hubert Honor took a punt on a Scat Daddy colt back in January, but the risk was made worthwhile when he sold to Blandford Bloodstock for €320,000.
We made a syndicate, and within that syndicate we've been trying to find some nice foals all over Europe. I mean, in Ireland, we went to Ireland and I bought 2. And then we went to England. It was quite difficult to get some foals. So actually we had to go to America, beginning of January. And we found a very nice Cat Daddy who was a good mover. And we just thought it would be nice to pick that one. It was a bit expensive though. But at the end of the day, we made a nice profit. And thank you to Tom Goff who bought the horse from us.
And Scat Daddy obviously has had a great season, but when you bought him as a foal, was he already a popular stallion, and was that the reason that you wanted him?
Yes, actually it was popular already the year before because he had Lady Aurelia. But I think altogether the atmosphere is good, and even if the sales are a bit patchy altogether because a lot of big clients are not showing up this time, unfortunately, because of political reason. But I think altogether the good horses make good money always.
As with any yearling catalogue, there were ups and downs. But how did the sale fare overall?
But the overall stats sort of held up well, and the good horses made money. And I think it's the same as we've seen anywhere else. So it's a selective market, but if you've got the right product, it will sell well.
All the kind of big faces are here, with the exception of perhaps a few sort of the really big players. How's that affected things?
This sale is, the starting point of sort of the sales circus, and people, they will always stop off here and be seen. But you're right, there were a few faces that we've come to expect to be at these premier sales, and they weren't. Some, you know, the various operations that were very active a couple of years ago, they've now got the broodmare bands and the stallions. They don't need to stock up every year. But against that, ARQANA filled the void with an array of international buyers, you know, plenty from America and plenty from Japan. Whether that continues to play out at Goffs and Tattersalls, I don't know. But yeah, it's striking to me how many Japanese parties came over, and they wanted to buy.
And personally, from your point of view, do you think you've seen some nice horses here, some proper
Lovely.
race horses?
Lovely horses. The Sail Topper was just a lovely, lovely horse. And Monceau, as ever, send a cracking draft. You know, they sell everything here. They won't send much abroad, and they've taken prepping over here to a new level, and they produce racehorses.
We haven't seen, you know, as many big purchases for Al-Shakab or for Godolphin as we might, but, you know, Sheikh Hamdan's been here, and this is, you know, these are very early days as well. We've got Doncaster next week, and the Doncaster Premier Sale's really coming up as well. That's had a lot of success, and a lot of, you know, people are now heading there that didn't in the past. Tats to come as well, Big Book 1. So, no, I mean, yeah, perhaps there are a few big players that you might have expected to be a little bit more prominent in the last 2 days, but you know, I'm sure we'll be seeing more of them as the season progresses.
So you don't fear that kind of sets a precedent for the rest of the season?
I don't know. I mean, it's always very hard to tell what the bigger operations will be doing. I mean, they're also big breeders, the two names I've mentioned. So, and especially Al-Shakab, they're relatively new breeders. They'll now start to have a lot of their own horses coming through that they've bred at the farms, and they'll have plenty to race themselves even without buying, although obviously they're also a stallion operation, so, you know, you'd expect them to be in the market and to a certain extent supporting some of their own stallions as well.